Have you ever felt like your mind won't give you a single moment of peace? As if, even when everything around you is quiet, inside, there's a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and emotions that just won't stop? The truth is, many people live like this every single day and don't even realize how much it affects their body, their emotions, and even the way they live their lives. Now let me ask you something very directly. When was the last time you truly listened to yourself? I'm not talking about thinking about your problems, but about pausing, breathing, and simply being present. Most people have forgotten how to do this. And that's exactly why exhaustion, anxiety, and the feeling of being lost only keep growing. But today can be different. Because in this guided meditation, I'm going to lead you to a place you may have forgotten, your safe place. A space within you where there is calm, tranquility, inner peace, and a deep connection with yourself. A true sacred space where you can simply be without pressure, without rushing, without weight. And no, you don't need to know how to meditate. You don't need to empty your mind. And you don't have to do anything perfectly. Here, the focus is simple: conscious breathing, presence, and self-care. Little by little, you'll begin to feel your body relax, your mind slow down, and a sense of well-being naturally start to arise, almost effortlessly. But before we begin, take this moment to do something important for yourself. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss other practices like this, which can help you cultivate more self-love, emotional balance, and a life with much more presence. So now, take a deep breath and stay with me until the end. Because what you're about to experience here might be exactly what you needed today. And maybe, just maybe, you'll discover that the refuge you've been searching for has always been within you. Now that you've made it this far, I want to invite you to do something simple, yet very powerful. Allow yourself to be present, without rushing, without pressure, without needing to do anything other than exist in this moment. This guided meditation is an invitation for you to slow down and enter a space of self-care, where you can gradually reconnect with what truly matters, you. Maybe your mind is still restless, filled with thoughts going back and forth, as if it doesn't want to stop. And that's okay, truly. There is no mistake here. This is a space of acceptance, not perfection. Little by little, you'll notice that simply by observing, a sense of calm begins to emerge, opening the way for more tranquility and a touch of inner peace. Think of this moment as a reunion, like coming home after a long, tiring day and finally being able to rest. This practice is about strengthening your connection with yourself, without effort, without pressure. And as you allow yourself to experience this, something within you begins to soften, preparing the way for the next step, where we will take care of your environment. Before we go deeper, it's important to create an environment that supports this moment. It doesn't need to be anything elaborate. Sometimes, a simple corner is enough. What matters is that you feel comfortable and safe. It can be your bedroom, your living room, or any place where you can have a few minutes of silence. This small act of care already begins to awaken a sense of well-being and comfort. Now, bring your attention to your body. Gently adjust your posture. If you're sitting, keep your feet grounded and your spine upright, but without stiffness. Think of firmness with lightness, like someone who is attentive but relaxed. If you prefer to lie down, that's perfectly fine too. The essential thing is to allow your body to enter a natural state of relaxation, without unnecessary tension. And here's a detail that makes all the difference. Treat this moment as a commitment to yourself. If possible, silence notifications, reduce distractions, and create your own little sacred space. This external care greatly supports the internal process, because when your environment becomes calm, your mind begins to follow. And that's exactly what will help us now move into conscious breathing. Now I want to invite you to direct your attention to something that has always been there, but rarely receives proper care: your breath. Without trying to change anything yet, just observe. Notice how the air enters and leaves your body? Does it pass through your nose or your mouth? Is your breathing shallow or deeper? This simple act of observing already begins to calm your emotional state. It's interesting to notice how, when you focus on your breath, your mind naturally begins to slow down. Not because you're forcing it, but because you're offering it a point of attention. It's like giving a rest to that constant flow of thoughts. Little by little, a sense of calm arises, as if everything inside you is starting to organize itself more gently. And if your mind wanders, that's absolutely okay. That's not failure, it's part of the process. Whenever you notice you've drifted into thoughts, simply come back, gently. This movement of going and returning strengthens your connection with yourself. And gradually, you enter a state of greater presence, opening the way to deepen this experience even further. Now that you are more present with your breath, let's go a little deeper. Begin, little by little, to direct the air into your abdomen. As you inhale, feel your belly gently expand, and as you exhale, notice it returning. No effort, no rush. This type of breathing activates a deep state of relaxation, helping your body slow down naturally. If you'd like, place one hand on your abdomen. This simple gesture increases awareness and strengthens your connection with yourself even more. It's as if you're creating a closer bond with your own body. Gradually, this practice brings a more stable sense of calm, as if everything inside you begins to come into balance. And something interesting starts to happen here. When the breath deepens, thoughts lose their strength. Inner silence begins to appear, even if just for brief moments. And it's in this space that inner peace begins to emerge more clearly. This is the perfect moment to release what feels heavy, and that's exactly what we're going to start doing now. Now that your breathing is deeper and your body is entering a calmer state, I want to invite you to let go, truly. You know those repetitive thoughts, daily worries, things you couldn't resolve? Instead of fighting them, simply observe. Without judgment, without resistance. Just acknowledge and let them pass. Imagine each thought as a cloud crossing the sky of your mind. You don't need to chase it, nor push it away. Just observe and allow it to follow its path. With each exhale, visualize yourself releasing a bit of that weight. This process helps balance your emotional state, bringing lightness and opening space for tranquility and well-being. And you may notice something very important here. When you stop resisting, everything begins to flow. Emotions stop getting stuck and begin to transform naturally. This is one of the great benefits of guided meditation. It teaches you to deal with what you feel with more gentleness. And now that you've opened this space within yourself, it's time to create something special, your safe place. Now that you've created space within yourself, I want to invite you to go even deeper. Use your imagination. Begin to visualize a special place, an environment where you feel completely at ease. It doesn't need to be perfect or detailed right away. Just allow the image to form gradually. This will be your safe place, an inner space of comfort and protection. Maybe this place is something you already know, a beach, a field, a house, a childhood corner. Or maybe it's something entirely new, created by your mind. What matters is not where it is, but how it makes you feel. This environment should bring calm, lightness, and a genuine sense of inner peace. And the most interesting part? The more you allow yourself to enter this space, the more real it becomes. Your brain begins to recognize it as a true sacred space, associated with well-being and emotional balance. So take your time, explore with curiosity. Now that your safe place has begun to take shape, I want to invite you to observe it more closely. Notice the details, what's around you. Maybe soft colors, a peaceful landscape, or a cozy enclosed space. The more you notice these elements, the more real this experience becomes within you. Now bring your attention to the sounds of this place. Is there wind, nature, water, or perhaps a deep silence that soothes you? And the temperature, is it pleasant, cool, warm, comfortable? These details activate real sensations in your body, deepening your relaxation even further. And allow yourself to go beyond what you see. Feel this environment. Feel that you belong here, that it welcomes you exactly as you are. This level of presence strengthens your connection with yourself and creates a much more stable emotional foundation. And from this inner safety, you'll be able to let go even more. Now that you are in your safe place, I want you to notice something very important. Here, there is no pressure, no right or wrong, no expectations to meet. You don't need to prove anything, not to others, and not even to yourself. How often in daily life do you feel like you always need to be doing something, solving something, being something? Here, all of that can rest. Allow yourself to let go of those roles for a few moments. In this space, you don't need to carry responsibilities or worries. And it's exactly this absence of pressure that creates space for a deep sense of calm and emotional freedom. And as you allow yourself to experience this, something beautiful begins to happen. You start accessing a natural state of self-love, a state where you accept yourself as you are, without criticism, without judgment. Now, gently bring your attention back to yourself, to your body and your mind. Notice how your body feels now. Is there more lightness? More ease? Also bring your attention to your inner world. How are your thoughts right now? Calmer? Quieter? And your emotions? Is there more space? More clarity? Little by little, you may begin to feel something very special arising within you, a sense of presence, alignment, wholeness. This state is the foundation of inner peace. Now I invite you to look with kindness at your emotional world, without fear, without resistance. Just notice if there is any emotion still present, something waiting to be felt. With each breath, imagine yourself gently dissolving any emotional tension. As if the air that comes in brings comfort, and the air that goes out carries away what no longer needs to stay. And slowly, you begin to realize that you don't have to carry everything alone. There is a lighter way to deal with what you feel. Now I invite you to go even deeper. Feel self-love, not as a distant idea, but as a real experience. Imagine welcoming yourself the same way you would welcome someone you love. And the more you allow yourself to feel this, the more it grows within you, not as something forced, but as something that has always been there, just forgotten. Now, I invite you to store this safe place within you, not as a distant memory, but as something alive, present, accessible at any moment. Realize that this place does not depend on external circumstances. It exists within you. And whenever you return to your breath, you can access this state again. And now, slowly, we begin to return. Bring your attention back to your breath, to your body, to the present moment. Feel your body, your hands, your feet, your face. Small movements may begin to appear, gently coming back. And before opening your eyes completely, notice how you feel now. Is there more lightness? More inner silence? More presence? Now that you've reached this moment, I invite you to close it with presence and intention. Allow yourself a gentle smile, even if subtle. Take this sense of calm, tranquility, and inner peace with you throughout your day. And before you go, I want to ask you something. What would your life be like if you accessed this state every day? What would change in your emotions, your decisions, the way you relate to yourself? If this experience resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can continue receiving content that strengthens your connection with yourself and deepens your self-love.